What's up, folks? Brian here from MA-Motorsports again, and behind me we have one of my first real toolbox. Bought this thing in like 2002 or 2003 from the Matco guy, and I've had it for a long time. I recently upgraded to a bigger box and consolidate a bunch of stuff, so I've had this thing sitting around and I'm ready to find another use for it, and I think I found that. We recently made the jump to a BMRS electric over hydraulic hose crimper. So we purchased this and a bunch of inventory from them. We used to use XRP, which we will still use. And so I wanted to come up with a new place to store all of the inventory and also set up like a crimping station. So we're gonna turn this old box into an assortment to keep all the inventory. And we're gonna set it up with hose cutting tool, a crimper, and a vise, so we can have like one mobile workstation to do all of our motorsport plumbing. As you can see, this box has some pretty cool old stickers on it from way back in the day. Before Brian Crowder existed, there was just Crowder cams, Beast cams, old Mugen stuff, Super Sequential, Cusco, just some really cool old stuff. And I couldn't bring myself to sell this box, so I'm glad we are now turning it into a usable workspace. This is our old crimping station, the XRP hand operated crimper, and it's on one of those old TV stands that you used to see in middle and elementary school or whatever. And it was kind of perfect for what it was. It was small, compact. We could wheel it around. We had the hose expander bolted to it, the hose cutting tool, and a little fold out table here. So you could work off of, and then we just kept all our dies under here, but we couldn't keep any of the fittings with it. We kept them all in the office, and so I'm trying to again consolidate. So we're going to go from this little guy to that big fella. All right, so we cut up this butcher block top we got from Lowe's, and now I'm placing everything on here. We got the crimper, just kind of locating where we're going to put stuff. Cheap Harbor Freight vise, just to hold fittings when we're working on them. And then we're going to mount the hose cutter as well. Basically a converted circular saw, uses a smooth blade, and it has a little bracket that's designed to hold the hose. It's made by Parker. It's a pretty cool little tool, very handy. So I'm going to mount that behind the crimping machine. I'll be able to then take everything back off and stain the top. I'm no woodworker, but I thought I would through bolt them, would be the strongest. And so I countersunk them with a paddle bit and then just drilled the hole. So this will be the bottom of our workbench.
All right, so we let the stain cure really well over a long weekend. We sanded it, put a couple coats on it, and it should be pretty durable for a little while, and we can always touch it up. So now I'm bolting everything to the table, my vise bolted, and now I'm bolting down the actual crimping machine.
We make and sell these little stick-on rulers, or tape measures if you will. Good for sticking on your workbench or toolbox. Pretty handy little thing. Maybe I'll get them listed on the site. So one of the things I still need to figure out is where we're going to put the hose for our plumbing station here, being that. So what I've decided to do is make a rack that's going to hold these things up here, kind of like a hutch. It'll hold 3 of these up top, and it should work out pretty well to hold all our hoses right on top, and I put a little work light underneath of it. out a frame to hold these guys, and basically I'm just tacking some dividers in right now. This is where our strong hand tools fixture table really comes in handy. I can keep everything flat and square. Pretty cool. So these little dividers will just help keep the 3 bins separate, obviously. And then once I have those welded in, I can start figuring out how I'm going to attach it to the box. Well, that's the general idea. As you can see, I got my frame all built out. Now I just have to decide how I'm going to attach it down to the work surface and make sure that it can support the weight, because I have to be able to mount this side of it also. I'm gonna rivet a plate here that this tube will weld to, come straight up and into the bottom of my rack here. I got this thing clamped down, and instead of clamping it directly to the table, I am clamping it to a piece of aluminum. That acts as a heat sink, helps keep this flange flat. If it was something critical, I would probably bolt the flange down to the heat sink, but this isn't that critical. Look at these little squares I just clamped on there to help me hold it up. And then I got one cleco in, and then I had Devin hold it with a level on it to make sure it was level with the rest of the box. And then I sunk another cleco. So then I'm just going to drill the rest of these holes and carry on. All right, so we got the frame all welded up here, which is cool. And it's actually substantially sturdier than I thought it was gonna be. However, I'm still gonna weld this little triangulation in here to just give it a little more support. Because while it's just kind of lightweight racing hose going up here, there is gonna be a lot of it. So, and I also happen to have this perfect length of tubing that I just cut some 45s in. And you see this stuff's like really gross. One of the reasons that I'm even making this thing out of aluminum is because I wanted to, but then also we had a lot of this like weird tubing left over some really old projects that's just gotten really dirty sitting around here. So as you can see, I cleaned it up, and it all used to look like this. So we're gonna clean this one up too and weld it on, and I think that's the last piece. She is. Our triangle brace welded on here. Super sturdy. Definitely strong enough to hold some hoses up. So I think we're gonna paint it black. If you didn't already know, this stainless steel impregnated polyurethane spray paint is awesome. We use it for all kinds of stuff, chassis work, and we stock and sell it here, obviously, here at MA-Motorsports. You can find it on our site. Awesome product. We sell it by the case, by the gallon, by the quart, you name it, we sell it. All riveted on. Use these big fat head rivets, probably unnecessary because the plate is pretty thick, but it turned out really good. There we are, perched up high. Beautiful steel it finish on here, nice and durable too. So one of the things that I did consider when mounting these up here was that we have a lot of lifts in here, and we also have a really big shop. And so one of my concerns was being able to roll this thing under a car on the lift. So you put the car up in the air and then roll this thing under it. That's just not possible. There's no way I was going to be able to make that work and still have like some good height here to work under. Like for instance here, you know, if you're like leaning in, working towards the back of the box, you know, it would just be really awkward. So I just kind of gave up on that idea, and you have to go around. Idea of a mobile plumbing station has always been ideal for us because we always have had pretty big shops for the past decade or so. And so, you know, we need to be able to roll the equipment to the project. Sometimes we can't just move the project to the crimping station, like if it was like fixed on one wall of the shop. So I really like that it's mobile, and so I'm pretty excited about it. It is not populated yet. We will have like adapter fittings in here, like your 8th MBT to dash 4, bulkheads, T's, etc., etc. And then we're probably going to put tools, miscellaneous tools in this drawer. Right now I have like our 3s and 4s, at least starting to get populated in here. But probably put tools here so they're easy to get to. And then, yeah, the rest it'll be, you know, fittings. Dash 6 drawer. We'll have all hose ends and miscellaneous dash 6 items. Heat sleeve, of course, etc., etc. Dash 10 drawer. I have a 12 drawer, a 16 drawer. So, yeah, pretty sweet. I'm very happy with it. I was a little concerned about these 3 bins not being enough space for the hose, but I think it'll be fine. And even if you have like a short piece, you can throw up in there and you can pull it down to look inside, or even just sit it on the bench here and work on it that way. So that's a wrap on our plumbing station video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different in that it wasn't a car that we're working on, but this thing being organized and assembled and everything in its right place is going to make the plumbing of the cars way more efficient. I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. Check out the other videos. I will update you on this once I get it all populated with all the fittings in it. I'll either make a short or just put it in another shop update video, but it's gonna be sweet with this thing fully inventoried. Thanks again for watching. See you on the next video.